All right, guys. So for this presentation this week, we're going to talk about graduate assistantships, what they are, what they're worth, what types they're out there, and how do you go about getting one of them. And so, um, a graduate assistantship is essentially, guys, just a contract between a grad student and a university. And essentially, the student agrees to do a job in exchange for having their tuition waived and sometimes a stipend. Um, they're worth a lot of money, guys. Directly, they're worth potentially tens of thousands of dollars. Meaning, if you go and you get your graduate degree paid for, that's worth a lot of money. Depending on where you're at in grad school, a stipend could be somewhere between $6,000 to $15,000 a year. Indirectly, it's worth a lot more than that. Obviously, having a graduate degree is going to open more doors. And being a GA going to gives you very much on-the-job training. So, what type of graduate assistantships are there? So, the first kind is the teaching assistantship, and what this is as a grad student, you're going to teach undergrad classes or assist a professor in doing so. For our field, the most popular one is PE. That's what my graduate assistantship was in at Tennessee. This picture right here, Mary Ruth Wheeler, she's just finishing up graduate school at Middle Tennessee State. She was recently just voted the best graduate assistant in their whole entire program. Guys, these are absolutely great jobs. You show up, a lot of times you're teaching activity classes like racquetball, bowling, tennis, basketball, and you're getting paid to do it. It's absolutely a fantastic job, and there are a lot of these that are open. A second type, which is much less likely for you guys, but is a researcher lab assistant. In the exercise science type fields, those you would go on or want to go on and get those, they have pretty extensive labs, and those labs are staffed by students who help with research. A third kind of is a coaching one. After teaching, these are probably the most common. You're going to help coach a team. Depending on the size of the institution, it's going to vary a lot of what you get to do. At a big institution, you're going to do very basic things. You're going to do very little coaching. At a small school, you're going to do a ton of coaching. This picture, Duncan Jones, who is Mary Ruth's husband, he is a GA finishing up his graduate assistantship with men's basketball at Middle Tennessee State. He did some coaching there, but primarily his was in type of kind of graphic arts, where he helped create the graphics for recruiting. A third type of graduate assistantship is within athletic departments. These are very common at all levels of institutions. At large school, they're very specific. So you're going to work in marketing or facilities or media or game day management. At small schools, you're going to do everything. These are very popular. If you want to work in college athletics, this is the way to go about doing it. So how do you go about getting these? Obviously, you have to have an undergrad degree, and you want to have at least a 3.0 GPA. The higher you have it, the better. You want to take the grad entrance exams if they're needed or if they're required. Some places don't require them. You want to create an application to grad school. I would choose the places that are interest to you. Do they have the program? Do they want? And is it a place that you want to live for the next couple of years of your life? And guys, it's not on this slide, but the most important thing you can do is you have to build contacts. Okay, pick out the 3 or 4 best places that you want to go. Reach out to the people in charge of the graduate assistantships and go make a time to meet them. Okay, when I went to Tennessee, that's how I got mine. I made the opportunity to go there. My wife, she was a GA in athletics at Tennessee. She made the trip to fly down there to meet those people. Mary Ruth and Duncan both got theirs by putting themselves out there. So it's all about networking and taking the ability to do it. But you want to start thinking about this now. You want to visit the schools, take your tests. If you need to, apply by probably the fall, and speak to the faculty, guys. This is a great opportunity to get your stuff paid for. And here's just a couple of former students that we've had. Brooke Thomas was a GA at Shorter in women's basketball. Craig Doremus was at Shorter and at Gardner-Webb in media relations. Nathan Campbell was a graduate assistant at Clemson in facility and event management. Arden Fox and Peyton Smith were both GAs at Reinhardt, guys. So tons of opportunities. We've had tons of students go to do this. You'll learn more about it as you get farther along in your degree. Thanks a lot.